Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's beautiful outside. I've got my camera off because I am headed to my daughter's wax museum project that she's presenting today. So I flew in back late last night to make sure I got here for her wax museum. So I'm rolling in to that hopefully on time. Hey, wanted to get started. COTD today is obviously team meeting. And then, Linda, how many broker opens do we have today?
One in Piperton, Julianne's.
Okay. And then can you give us a snippet of what we're going over? And then, Leslie, can you talk a little bit about Lone Wolf before I go into some other stuff?
Yeah, so at team meeting, we are going to go through, we're bringing in a social media coach, somebody who is not just giving us like ideas, but like how to edit, how to make videos, how to grab attention. Like it's going to be workshop style so that you learn how to use the different tools out there and become better content creators truly and get business from it. It's actually Sue Dye's coach. So Sue has hired this lady and we've decided to bring her in. We have a sponsor for it. So anyway, she's coming to talk a little bit about her class today. We will talk more about Lone Wolf in depth. And then a little bit about AI and a new tool, a new community at Keller Williams, and a couple other just fun announcements. And then we'll go to the broker open.
So all things social media and AI. She is an actual social media coach. So it's not just like somebody that's teaching social media. She's a true social media coach. So and she coaches Sue Dye. If you haven't had a chance to go follow her, you should. Because she is really upping her game because of this coach on social media. So I might need to consider hiring her as well. And Leslie, what's the deal with Lone Wolf? Why are we transitioning?
Yeah, so KWRI has heard all of the pain points that agents were experienced with DocuSign, and so they've been working to build out a more user-friendly solution. So Lone Wolf Transact was built exclusively to evolve with Command as it grows and to provide a more seamless experience for the agents and their clients. It's going to be it's not super different from DocuSign in the actions you're going to take. It's just going to move a lot more seamless. There's going to be a lot less hiccups. It's going to integrate into your business a lot more smoothly.
Well, and from what I heard, so today we're just going to get y'all to set it up in Command. But I did hear instead of y'all having to set up a room, which makes zero sense, you're setting up a transaction. It's more geared towards actually the functionality of a residential real estate agent. So just some things to think about there. As you make the transition. But the first step is just getting it set up to Command so that we don't convolute the matter. That's all we've got to do first, and then we'll start doing some additional training. So make sure that you're on today. And I know it's going to be a good team meeting, so today will be a great one. And then the open house I know is in Piperton. So looking forward to that. Leslie, if you don't mind sharing your screen. I was going to do AI, y'all, but I want to make sure I can get to to my daughter's event at school. So I wanted to share this and talk a little bit about this. This quote, it says, "Your level of influence is in direct proportion to the amount of value you have added to someone's life. Think, if I was going to be the reason that someone's life improved, what do I have to do that?" And so we talk a lot about value squared, like how are we providing value? We talk about, sales, all it is a relational business. I think everybody would agree on the call. If somebody comes at you and is a salesperson versus a relational person, you're going to walk away with a completely different experience. And what I mean by that is a salesperson is typically transactional, i.e., what's in it for me. And a relational person is how can I serve you? How can I get to know you? Do you have any pain points or things that I could do to help relieve those pain points, right? And then I could essentially, on the other side, serve as a fiduciary. So it is different. And I think everybody would agree. I can think of some people I know right off the top of my head right now that are salespeople. And I'm like, I avoid them like the plague. I don't want to be around them. I don't want to hear what they have to offer because they're only selling me something that's what's in it for them. and not what's in it for me. And so I'm reading right now, seven levels of communication. I don't know if anybody's ever read it. I've already read it before, and I'm reading it again. And this does have to do with AI, because AI cannot replace a relationship. And so instead of us getting bogged down in the weeds of like, how do I go find more people, go meet more people, my lesson in all of this, and even reading that book yesterday, was how can I go deeper with the relationships I currently have? So how can I be purposeful with those relationships? So how could I call Becky? I'm just using you. How could I call Becky and say, hey, I haven't talked to you in the past 3 months. What if we sit down over coffee? Would love to hear about what's going on in your world. How's business going? What can I do for you? And then I talk about, after I've had all of those conversations and gone super deep with how I could serve them, then I will talk about the residential real estate market, because they're going to ask me. Because at some point they're going to say, gosh, she is pouring into me. What can I do to pour into her? And then I could be more purposeful about saying, well, Becky, I love that you're asking that. This is what we're seeing in real estate right now. These are some things we're doing for creative financing for our people. Do you know anybody else that I could serve in real estate? So all that to say is, like, my favorite book I've ever read is The Go-Giver. And this book is very much in alignment with that, because at the beginning of the book, it talks about how the sales guy was a transactional agent. He's actually a real estate agent. How he did a ton of business, and then all of a sudden his business died. And like all of these other people are getting ahead of him. And what he came to find out is he stopped being relational. So I would encourage y'all, like, put together a top 50 list. I was telling Philip Blade this the other day, because him and I are reading this together in our book club. I was like, hey, Philip, like, what if one day a week, instead of working on systems, instead of cold calling, instead of circle prospecting, what if one day a week we lined up coffee meetings at one spot, and we were the mayor of that spot, because everybody sees us there on every Thursday lining up meetings. The consumer and the customers in the coffee shop are going to start asking, what does she do, or what does he do, right? Because you're there every single week. So consistency is a key in this. And you're lining up meetings so that you look important, right? And all you're doing is calling your friends and having coffee with them and reconnecting with them, finding out what they need, finding out, if there's anything you can do to serve them. And then all of a sudden, y'all, you're going to have a huge pipeline of people that already know, like, and trust you. And so this quote really resonated with me, because, my success is in direct, and my influence is in direct proportion to the amount of people that I can provide value to. And that's it. I'm not selling anything. All I want to do is serve you, right? And serve more people. And that's a total switch than what traditional sales is. AI will replace traditional sales. Systems will replace traditional sales. Nobody's going to disrupt a relationship, a deep rooted relationship, and one that's built on service and value and providing value. What do y'all hear me say from this?
Relationships,
more consistent relationships more often. Like, what if, seriously, I want y'all to think about this. What if you truly did one day of coffee? And how do you think your emotional state would be after you sat down with people like, and trust, and poured into them? Would you think that was a fun day at work? I think it would be an awesome day at work, right? I'm talking to people and catching up with people I already know, like, and trust. What else are you hearing me say?
Just treat people like people.
1000%. Stop treating people as if they have a dollar amount on top of their head that you're going to get, right? Start treating people as people, and start thinking about it, y'all. When you're in a transaction or you're working with another agent, I mean, I see agents do this all the time. They don't get back to the other agent. Would you want to be treated that way? Probably not. I mean, there's a level of respect, right? And so put yourself in other people's shoes, treat people how they want to be treated. And in turn, those people are going to naturally want to be your number one cheerleader, right? Because you're serving them first. And so all that to say is my action item from this is, I want to see on y'all's calendar where you're creating a day where you're going deeper in relationships with people that already know, like, and trust you. And I would love to see it, on, I don't know, I'm making this up, on a Wednesday, so that y'all are lining up people in the same spot. And that way you've got back-to-back meetings. People are coming to you and you get to serve. And I'd love to hear how your experience is with them on the other side, because I guarantee you it's going to fill your cup. All right, y'all. That's all I have today. COTD is team meeting today. It sounds like we have a pretty awesome lineup, so I'm excited about that. So I'll see everybody there. Y'all let me know if I can do anything. If there's anything I can do to serve you, let me know. Y'all make it a good one. Make it count. Bye, everybody.